If anyone remembers from John Carpenter's The Thing, the scene where Dr. Blair is checking the computer to see the probability of who may already be a thing, and the next prompt on the screen that follows is how long would it take the thing to take over the world from a civilized population center? And it says 27,000 hours from first contact. Boom, right there. You have your title 27,000 hours. So here's how I envision it. We open on an American suburb because remember, this is taking place after the events of John Carpenter's The Thing. So we're in the heart of the 80s. So American excellence, everything is just the American dream. And that's exactly the kind of suburb we are opening on. You know, white picket fence, kids playing in the front yard, lemonade stand, 10 cents because 10 cents was actually worth something back then. And we open on this family and they're on their way to the pound to adopt a dog. And, you know, sure enough, they go to the pound and the guy's kind of giving a little bit of background of where the dog came from. We'll cut back to that at the end. We bring the dog back home and then we just, you know, have the kids playing in the front yard with the dog. You know, everything is just right as rain. And then sure enough, you know, when the kids are playing in the front yard, mom and dad are in the house and they're just painstaking over these bills and, you know, they're about to hit bankruptcy. Dad is just feeling like a loser and he's like, I am not the person that I thought I was and I'm not who I want to be. And, you know, the wife is she's just in that position of like, I don't want to lie to him, but I don't want to kick him while he's down either. So there's just that tension in the relationship. Like the thing was so effective at creating tension of like who to not trust. It's really kind of hard to replicate that. So it would at least give this narrative of the thing taking over people and at least tying a thematic through line of like, well, I'm not who I want to be. I think that would at least kind of give this monster a bit of depth too. So that's at least a thought. Right around the 10-minute mark, because again, we need to be efficient and we need to kind of, because everything is so low budget now, and these are just the way I'm thinking because I'm a broke filmmaker. So every idea I'm thinking of is like, how can we do this for the lowest budget possible? Right around the 10-minute mark, you know, we're putting the kids to bed. All right, have a good rest. And then sure enough, you know, it's like midnight, 1 o'clock. And then the dad just opens his eyes, sees his son staring right at him. Dad, there's a monster in my closet. What? Dad, there's a monster in my closet. All right, let's go check it out. Goes in, sure enough, you know, dad opens the door and then boom, you know, out runs the dog. And, you know, hey, it's not cool to lock the dog in the closet, you know, bring a little bit of levity. We want to have, you know, an endearing father-son relationship just to show that he is at least trying to be a good dad. You know, it's like, you think you're going to be able to get through the night? Yeah, dad. Can you leave the light on in the closet and just like crack it like this open just a little bit? Yeah, sure. You know, that good. It's a scene we've all seen before in horror films. And then sure enough, kid settles back into bed and we just slowly, from the closet's POV, we just slowly zoom in as this kid is falling asleep. And then sure enough, cracks an eye open and then just play with the silence of it. Just let it sit, let it marinate. And of course, closet lights on, but we only see a sliver and we just see a grotesque figure staring at him with the eye peeking through. Cut to black, cut to the next morning. We don't even see what happens to this kid. Open, mailman comes, more money, more bills, more problems. And we want to establish that this family is a social family. They are doing everything they can to put up the front that everything is fine. So they invite the other family over, and this is where we can really start to build out the scope of the narrative. So, you know, they're having this family dinner, kids are outside having fun, and they're just, you know, adults catching up. Maybe they just got back from vacation in like Rome or wherever, and it's like, you know, people are a little different there. And it's like, oh, like what kind of way do you mean? And they just kind of start describing weird things that they started noticing on their trip. And it's like, you know, well, hey, the world's a changing. You know, they just kind of chalk it up to nothing, but just something to allude that this is kind of getting a bit more widespread. Because again, we're kind of at the end of the 27,000 hours. So who's human, who's not? And then I think it would just be really fun, you know, with the kids sleeping over. I think it would just be so much fun to just have a super scary sleepover sequence where the thing, you know, because the dog is the thing at first, so it just starts assimilating these other kids without the parents even knowing. the kids are like screaming their head off, and it's like, ah, those kids, their wild imaginations and the games they play. Little did they know the kids are getting massacred. Don't kill the dog, kill the kids. I say that jokingly, but also I think that would be a really cool, effective way to approach it, because in John Carpenter's The Thing, we see this team of really competent men, handling this situation as scientists. So to just kind of have like an average family just see their kids become these like demented monsters, I think it would just be just a little bit of a different flavor, but it would still be a lot of fun. And sure enough, like over the course of this, because like their kids are acting strange, but the thing is smart. It's not going to reveal that it's the kids yet. So it's like these family like going through like, oh my God, what are we doing wrong as parents? What are we doing wrong as adults? And it's just driving more and more tension between this marriage. And then sure enough, Dad, there's a monster in my closet again. And then that's when it's revealed. And the thing jumps out and attacks. And then maybe the father gets away, and then he's joining with his wife, and they like go out into the street and they start knocking on doors being like, help, help, oh my God. And then sure enough, that's like when we get towards that our influence of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where it's just like every door they knock on, everyone just has like a blank stare. Hey, how can I help you? And it's just, I think that would be such a great way to go about it, at least in my opinion. We're towards the end of that 27,000 hours, so it's like, who is the thing? But also the thing is smart, so it's not just going to reveal itself to any random person unless it knows it can get them. So then we just get to that point where it's just like they're in the middle of the street of this suburb, and it's just everyone staring at them from the window, and they're just surrounded, and there's no getting out. Maybe that's where we cut to black? No, I don't think so. So they have their fate sealed, and how we kind of build up to that climax, that can be left up to a million different interpretations. I'm just kind of doing this off the fly here. And I think a great way to end the movie would be to kind of like 10 Cloverfield Lane, where we kind of have that hint of like, oh my God, it's connected to the thing, where at the end of the film, we see the origins of where the dog came from. And then maybe it's tied together with that broadcast. And then maybe the dad's friend that they had dinner with is a conspiracy theorist. And he's like, hey, so I've been thinking about this like accident to the scientist crew in Antarctica. And it's like, oh, okay, that's just a crazy conspiracy theory. And then sure enough, at the end of the film, we see the origin of where the dog came from, which is, the horrific accident that happened at the end of John Carpenter's The Thing. So then we have that flavor of 10 Cloverfield Lane, where it's still an independent standalone film, but there's just enough connective tissue to connect it to the thing. IP driven, low budget, contained thriller. And I just think it would be so much fun. I've been playing with this kind of stuff. My most recent short film, which is like 26 minutes long, I definitely playing with an idea of like, are people getting replaced with AI? Maybe not. Go ahead and watch the short film, link in bio. But I love ideas that just sit in the tensions and like just marinate in it and really just build up the drama of the family, and especially with The Thing, because John Carpenter's The Thing was so effective. It's just like a contained thriller, but it would be really awesome to add a really deeper thematic level to it, with this married couple being like, oh, we're not the parents we thought we would be. We're not the people we thought we would be. Are we even like in love with each other anymore? And using that as a thematic hook into what the thing is actually doing to people, I think it would at least add some depth, in my opinion. So let me know what you think. This is an idea I've been having noodling around in my brain for a while. If anyone else has like thought of this idea, please let me know. But I think it would just be a really great, fun thriller film. I would kill to write for a project like that. I think I'm going to open Final Draft tonight.